Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Like there's millions of people watching. This is not. Hey, everybody. So, yesterday the markets did what, right? Bear trap. Just like I talked about in the morning, right? I already hit you guys up with a video, and I already dropped that on obviously my YouTube, my TikTok, and other social media platforms that I do. All right. So, we'll go over it in a little bit. Today we have NVDA earnings after the close. Okay. So NVIDIA just started to do a bit of a meteoric rise yesterday, which was expected, right? And what did I say yesterday? I said big levels down there, last week's lows, a big high volume node, composite high volume node, right? And I said, who's going to want to hold the bag and be super short going into NVIDIA earnings? Not a lot of people, okay? So now we're kind of in this little range here, um, and we'll get into it. Okay, we'll get into it. Without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile, volume profile to find structure in the markets. Long supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. That's how I look at the markets. All right, that's how I charts distribute data on my market. Uh, and that's my edge. All right, it gives me just a blueprint to work off of every day. All right, so when I look at the charts, it tells me what to do. Right, it gives me my edge, just like I said. All right, so hopefully I do this every day at 8, 10 a.m. Hopefully, come join your boy. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of water, have a tea, drive in your car, do whatever, take a shower, have me on. I'll give you the market recap, give you what's going on in the news, economic calendar, leaders and laggards this morning. Of course, we go over daily charts, and at 8:30 a.m., called the main event. That's the Nasdaq and the ES futures analysis. That's where I go over long and short trade scenarios for the day. Okay, for the day, and then when the market opens, there's new data, right? There's new data. Like for instance, yesterday, and you can see it in my video, right? We were pushing down. Remember the Putin news? So we went real down, right, past the levels that I wanted to go. And then when we opened, I wanted to see how weak this market was. So what happened is you kind of pushed up, then got that last bit of selling, and that was the bear trap. Okay? And then boom, market lifted higher. All right? So, you can see that right in my videos. All right? Now I posted them on X at Gonzo719, my YouTube Shorts, and TikTok Gonzo719 Trader. Please check them out. Please check them out. All right? Even yesterday, it hit a target of mine, and I mismanaged that a little bit. I should have held a runner or two because it would have been even more of a monster trade. Good, it was a monster trade, but it should have been a lot more. So I'm refining some execution strategies. Obviously, I'm not going to complain about the return I got, but there's always ways to improve, right? Now, obviously, smash that like button if you want to do so. You can wait to the end. If I stink, you don't have to give me anything, right? But I don't. So let's get into this market. Let's get into the futures watch list. What's moving markets today? That is not futures watch list. That is not futures watch list. This is. That was a lie. Okay, let's start over. Let's go into the futures watch list. Start off with who's leading. Oh, it's Bitcoin. So, shocker. Shocker. And the 10-year yield. Jeez, it's back up. It's back up. Jeez. All right. And crude been bottoming out. It's getting a little love today. All right. The dollar's up 0.41. The Dow is up 0.32. Gold's up 0.27. The geopolitical concerns with Russia helping gold, as well as Bank of America saying it's set for 3,000. Nasdaq's up 0.24, ES up 0.21, the Russell's up 0.06, Ether's flat. Okay, silver is down 0.21, 30-year bonds being sold, and the VIX is down 1.59%. It's the 16 VIX, still a nice VIX. Okay, still a nice VIX. Moving on to the Max 7 Plus, who's leading the pack? Netflix. Netflix leading the pack. All right, followed by Eli Lilly, up 0.75. Coinbase up 0.57. NVDA is up 0.54. Remember, they report earnings today after the close. Microsoft's up 0.53. Meta's up 0.51. Boeing up 0.23. All right, now laggard here. We got JP Morgan down 0.04. It's nothing. And Google down 0.06. That's nothing. Tesla's down 0.23. There's those top sector stocks. Let's move on. We have United Healthcare. United Healthcare is up 1.42%. 1.42%. Okay. Followed by Salesforce, up 0.76. Snowflake report earnings today as well, up 0.55. Morgan Stanley's up 0.42. Chevron's up 0.25. Now, let's look at laggard. Costco down 0.13. Walmart down 0.45. Now, Walmart had good earnings. Target had horrible earnings. So, in sympathy, these stores, retails, taking a tiny hit. Taking a tiny hit. Now, let's go to the swing trade list. Woo. Wow. Williams Sonoma must have reported earnings, and they must be good because they're up 20.88%. Wow. All right. Interesting. Now, MicroStrategy is just meteoric. All right. The Meteor up 5.23%. Hood up 3.97. Chewy got an upgrade. They are up 3.76. Mara Mining 3.463. Wayfair up 3.07. Viking Therapeutics up 2.31%. Dell got an upgrade, 2.19. Bitcoin ETFs up 1.94. Riot up 1.71. SoundHound up 1.54. Vertiv, my baby. Woo! Look at a Vertiv chart. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Loving it. I own that at like $69 a share, I think. Yeah. It's like doubled. And they had some investor day that they just outlook is looking great. Kind of have some type of partnership with NVIDIA. So looking amazing. Humana's up 1.29%. So something's going on with healthcare. I don't know yet. Okay, with United Healthcare, and Humana is up. All right, now let's look at some laggards. All right, pretty big laggard. Target's the loser today. Poor guidance. All right, they're down 18.61%. Five Below down 3.74. So these dollar stores or stores like that. So Five Below down 3.74. Roku down 3.55. Dollar General down 3.42. Dollar Tree down 3.27. So retail taking a hit, maybe with Target News. Super Microcomputers, maybe people taking some profits after yesterday's rise, down 2.72. I think this is that Kohl's? I believe that's Kohl's, down 1.7, probably with Target's news. Now, I know a lot of retail reported. So, GameStop down 1.34. AI down 1.27, and Macy's down 1.19, and I think that's Best Buy down 1%. All right, so some retail getting a hit after Target. All right, let's go to sectors, the guts of the market, and see who's leading. Semis are up 0.88. Remember, NVIDIA reports after the close. Healthcare, that's your Humana, but United Healthcare is a large, and Eli Lilly. Okay, two largest holdings are up, so that's going to move that. Energy is up. Technology is up 0.33. Financials up 0.28. And then the only laggard here is Staples. Staples down 0.81. Okay, down 0.81. All right, moving on. We'll get to the economic calendar, which is super light today. Super, super light today. We just have really crude today. There's not much to report. I mean, obviously, NVIDIA earnings. So let's just go to earnings. Let's see what has reported. All right, so yesterday after the close, what do we have? Dolby, nothing much, but sorry about that. All right, Neo reported before the open this morning. Target reported. TJ Maxx reported. Wix reported. Williams Sonoma. Okay, now after the close, Monster, NVDA, Monster. All right, Snowflake, Palo Alto. So big earnings today. Now tomorrow before the open, we got Baidu, Pinduoduo, John Deere, BJ's, Warner Music Group. Okay, that's what you have tomorrow before the open. That's your earnings. All right, let's look at the juice here. All right, so a couple things about Trump's tariffs I saw saying that 41 Trump's proposed tariffs will significantly impact the U.S. economy, says 44 out of 51 economists. Um, what else we can get from the juice here? Um, It's just basically saying here investors will scrutinize Nvidia's quarterly earnings to see if the world's most valuable firm can sustain its amazing run, which has been fueled by spending on AI technology. With the chipmaker nudging higher in pre-market trade after surging 4.9 the previous session, options trading indicates that the outcomes will be the most important catalyst of this year, surpassing the Fed's December meeting. So this is like all about AI right now because if Nvidia does something or numbers just shock people, yeah, Santa Claus is going to fuel Santa Claus basically. Okay. Let's look at any more news we can look at here. Here we go. All right. So, Target stock slumped 17% after the retailer reported third quarter earnings that fell well short of analyst expectations, providing disappointing guidance. Comcast stock rose 2.5 after the Wall Street Journal reported that the media giant was close to approving a $7 billion spinoff of its cable TV assets. Delta Airlines stock fell 0.7 after the carrier said it expected 2025 revenue to grow only by mid-single digits percentage on a capacity growth of 3%. NVIDIA stock rose 0.4, adding to the previous session's near 5% gains ahead of high anticipated quarterly earnings. All right, JP Morgan Chase stock fell 0.3 after Oppenheimer's downgraded its stance on the banking giant to perform from outperform. And AstraZeneca rose 0.5 after UBS upgraded its recommendation for the pharmaceutical giant stock to neutral from sell. NEO ADRs fell 2.4% after the Chinese EV manufacturer reported a wider net loss. All right, let's move on to upgrades, downgrades. Let's see here. Let's see our upgrades today. We have AstraZeneca upgraded from sell to neutral. Chewy underperformed to a buy. What else here? That's about it. And see downgrades. All right, we have Fidelity. Fidelity downgraded from neutral to underperform. JP Morgan, there's your downgrade. Outperformed to market perform. And Block outperformed to neutral. Target, a buy to neutral, downgrade. Okay, now initiations, let's check out those. Kava market perform, price target 145. Fidelity at a buy. All right, now price target changes. Like this has not been the best for this. Target raises Walmart 90 to 100. Wix got target raised. Let's see what else. Telecom. Oh, I'm sorry. Trip.com target raised. Let's see what else here. Netflix target raised to 1100. My lord. 40net target raised. Dolby target raised. Salesforce target raised. Then we got target lowered. It's Valvoline. Medtronic. HP. Okay, that's about it here. Alrighty. I think, let me just see if there's another news that we can look at here. There is. Give me one sec. And we'll just see if this provides any further insight on news. Just give me a sec here while I pull this up. It might show me something different here. Let's see. Okay. So we know about Target. Okay, Google's prosecutors propose cure for search monopoly. Apple to urge judge to end U.S. smartphone monopoly case. Qualcomm positive on Trump administration as a forecast chip sales growth. Okay. What else? Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here. I don't think so. I don't think so. Alrighty. I think we can move on to daily charts. Daily charts coming up. Coming up. Okay. Not sure if Chief's here. Not sure who's here. But we go on. Alright, so let's look at SPY together. Alright, notice. Remember, the orange lines are last week's range. What did we go to? Last week's lows. That's why your boy got long there. Okay. 20-day simple moving average holding as support. Where did we hit? 9 EMA daily, right? So we're in a 3-day little range. Right? You had an inside day, and then we engulfed that yesterday. Our range was bigger than the whole previous day. Okay. Still have a gap above. Still have a gap below. All right. Where are we at now? 591.62. What did I say? 591.62 is gapping up. We're gapping up into a gap. Okay, right here. Live look at futures. See price action there. So you can see big wick down. Went through last week's lows. Now you'll see in the trading video I made, 58.76 was the weekly low in futures, and that's why I got long right when it hit it. Now this is not the real-time trading hours. This is the 24 hours. So in the real time, you'll see it in my video. Okay. Now, where are we at here? There's last month's highs. We're above that now, and we're right at the 9 EMA daily. So, like, you got this move here, and you can see we're just consolidating, getting higher lows here. Not on this day, but here. And we got NVDA earnings. Don't know what's going to happen today. All right. At all. Let's move on to the Qs. Let's see what those Qs tell us. The Qs, let's see. You see the Qs are in a 3-day balance range. Again, we went right up to the 9 EMA daily. Okay. We didn't make it to last week's lows in the Qs in the real time in the market open, right? But you'll see in futures it did. So where are we at now? 504.70, 504.70. We are gapping up, right up here. Got a downtrend line coming in around 505.50. We'll see what that does. Does that act as resistance? I don't know. Gapping up into a gap. Now let's look at the reals. You'll see the level I'm talking about. So the reason I got long yesterday was I saw the NASDAQ go right into almost a 50-day moving average, but right here, last week's lows, 204.05. It just wicked there, and whoop, you can see the buying happened, right? So futures, you're pushing up, higher highs, and now we're right by last month's highs, 9 EMA daily. Where can we go? I mean, I'm not sure how far we go. Maybe to the top of this candle here, 205.80, but I don't know what the market's going to want to do with NVIDIA earnings. I'm thinking they always lean bull side because I believe that's why this was bought up, right? I believe that's why this was bought up. But we don't really know what will happen with the earnings, okay? Now, let's move on to the triple-headed monster. That's your 10-year yield, which is nuts. This is the nutso 10-year yield. Triple-headed monster. Let's go back to this resistance. Yesterday, I was pulling down, pulling back right here, and I was like, whoop, it hit last month's highs, 20-day simple moving average, and now it's bounced, and now you're trying to take this out. So still in a range here. You can see this resistance. Just have to see what it does. Okay, just have to see. Let's look at that dollar together. The dollar also pulled back a couple days. Now is pushing up a little bit to watch that dollar. Now we got our fear gauge, our VIX. Our VIX, we're at a 16 VIX. Okay, 16 VIX is the 1% expected move in the SP 500. That's your triple headed monster. All right, let's move on to the main event. That would be your market profile and your volume profile. Okay, that's the analysis that I'm going to do for you guys live. Right, I don't do anything until I'm looking at this live. So let's check it out. All right, we can go over my trade because I nailed that yesterday. I kept jamming. I kept talking about right when we were down here. Let's get my marker out. I kept talking about the bear trap. I kept talking about this composite high volume node 5876. I said, I don't know. You got to prove to me that you can find value below it. I mean, whoever was watching that, go back and watch it. I kept harping on that. Okay? I kept harping on it. When we were down here, remember I was like, oh man, we're down here, right? And I said, I don't trust it until it accepts value down here. And look what happened. The market opened up right here above it, right? What was 58.76? What I said. Last week's lows, right there. Look what the market did. Came right to 58.76, the 24-hour most traded price in a composite high volume node. It literally like went 2 ticks almost past the weekly low. I got long a 58.81, like right here. And the volume, the selling volume, if you go to my trade video, was monstrous. Right into here. Boom. It was the bear trap I was looking for. Okay. It was beautiful. Okay, let's look at the price action real quick of the trade, all right, or of the day, right? I'm going to make these fat so you can see them a little better, okay? So look what this happened. So what happened is we went like this, right? Came up, pushed down, and almost like into my key level, and I'm like, in the market internals, just like when the guys tell you this, were not weak. They weren't weak. So I was like, this is perfect, setting up perfect. If I don't have those internals, I don't know. I'm not, and I don't know these levels, I'm going to be like nervous. But I was like, you know what, worth the risk. And then it consolidated here for a little bit. And then once it broke the previous day's lows right there, it was off to the races. And look at that, Jesus. I caught it up to here, and I should have kept the runner on because look at it just, that would have been a monster. But hey, I'm not going to complain. Okay, I'm not sitting here trying to complain. I'm just showing you the trade, right? Bear trap. I kept saying it all morning. Hopefully somebody took that with me in the community or who watched this channel because it was pretty awesome. All right. In my video, I put in the live stream, but if you saw it, you saw it. Okay. So that's the recap. Okay. We got some single prints here. Okay. Now, there's a couple things to note now in this structure here. Okay, let's look at our profile. So we got profiles kind of balanced here, right? 3-day range. Now, this is what's the important part. Okay, we're in ultimate balance. The most traded price of the month and the week is 59.20. Price is above it. So the most agreed upon price of the last month and the week is 59.20. Okay, that just means that a big move is coming. Okay, a big move is coming. Now, I know NVDA is reporting after the close, so I don't know if the market's going to get ahead of this. But if, we start going like this, woo boy, go right up to there, right? I think it's easier to go to the upside right now, but obviously you could break down lower, right? But a big move's coming. You're in ultimate balance. Okay, 59.20 is a magnet. All right. Now, where are we at now? We're right here. We're basically at yesterday's highs in the ES. Basically at yesterday's highs. Now, what levels can we look at today? right? Well, obviously 59.20 is a monster level. Monster. All right. We have the midpoint of yesterday's range, which is the 50%, 59.12 right there. We got single prints that line right up with them. Demand zone right here. Okay. Now, so immediately, what jumps off the map to me, we got a nice balanced profile in the overnight. Okay, that doesn't really give us much. Doesn't really give us much. Okay, the only thing that is a little important here, not the only thing. Here's the most traded price of yesterday. Okay, with the overnight low. So 59.37 is a weak low, a confluence low. You know those are longs there. Okay. And there's a poor low here in the overnight. So this is your first line of defense for bulls. Okay, this could cause a little corrective action here if it gets broken. Okay, now we still have this gap above us. We still have a gap below us, big one. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at today. Okay, 59.20 is your bull bear line, right? Bulls want to stay above this. Simple as that. Okay. Now, let's get right into scenarios. All right, start with the bull case. Okay, so overnight high is right here. Overnight lows are weak low. Remember I said that's defense, right? And then we have this demand with 59.20. All this could be corrective and could be bullish. Okay, so what do I want to see? You got a supply up here. So either this touches the supply, hits the overnight low, rolls back, and you get a nice pullback here, and that you can go long and see if you can fill that gap right here. Okay. Anything else on top of this is gravy. You start working into the old balance range. Okay. Another thing here. Okay. What if we break that and we go into this demand, right? And we hit 59.20 and we do some higher lows. You could also work yourself up, fill the gap, maybe get some extra gravy on top, go up here. That probably is what I'm interested in. And now, of course, internals have to be strong, that I want to get onto this train. You know, so that's basically what I'm looking for. Pretty easy. Now, bear side. Okay, remember, structure-wise, it's all bullish. You're over 59.20, you're bullish. But remember here, 59.20, sellers want to break that. Okay, sellers want to step up here in the supply. Sellers, bears, want this weak low 59.37 to be broken. Okay, so how does this look for? How does this look for selling? Right now we know overnight lows. People got long here. People got long here. People got long here. They're all getting paid, right? They're all getting paid. So what I would like to see if I'm a bear. Now again, the easier move is long. Okay, but if you're a bear, all you have to do is push up into this supply, maybe even fill this gap. Boop. Rejection, higher low. Lower high, lower high. Okay, and what you're going to want to see is this is gap fill here if we're up here. Depends where we open. Okay, if you rip through this most traded price of the overnight, you're going to get to test this weak low, 59.37. If that pushes through, all right, you got this big demand zone here in the breakout, a little bit of a breakout. 59.33 was a key level yesterday that we broke. Okay, it's all about, can you break this 59.20 big monster level and hold under it, hold under it, hold under it. You find acceptance below it, you got single prints, and you're going right back to this 58.76. I don't think we go crazy for NVIDIA because we have NVIDIA earnings. I don't, even if we did this, I think we would come right back here, at least. Okay, this is a tougher road to do. All right, you got Santa Claus in your head. We just bounced off a major level. NVIDIA earnings after the close, so that's what's going on there. Okay, moving on to the Nasdaq. Let's look at our Nasdaq together. All right. So look at our profile. Basically a balanced profile. Okay. We're slightly gapping up. So here's the highs, here's price. So it's a very small gap. Very tiny. Very, very tiny. Now, look what I was talking about before. The overnight session, pre-market yesterday, we pushed down all the way into this demand. And guess where that is? The 204.05 was last week's lows. And you pushed up, right? The market opened right here. And what did it do? There's the previous day's lows, never made it there, and just consolidated and pushed and closed here. Okay? So, what levels do we have in the NASDAQ? Okay? We're over the month-to-date VWAP as well right here. Okay? What do we have? Well, look at this level here. 207.89 is last month's highs. We're sitting right on last month's highs. Okay? Sitting right on it. So, here's what I'm looking at for today. Now, the most traded price of the month is still up here at 212. You can't see it. Hold on a sec. Let me put that up there. All right. Let's do this again. 212 right here. That's still the most traded price of the month. 24 hours is 208, 206.50, which happens to be the most traded price of the week now. So 206.50 is an important level. All right, almost ultimate balance. Okay. So that's your bull bear line. 206.50. Got little single prints here, demand here, demand here. All right, you got, we're in a gap right now. This is the gap, still has not been filled. Okay. So overnight low has a demand zone right here. Pay attention to that 207. Let's see what that level is. 207.50. Got a demand here. So bulls want to defend this right here. Okay, of course you want to defend the 206.50 right here. So similar to ES. Okay. So we're going to get right into scenarios here. And we'll start with the bull case. And let me just let me just open this up a little bit. Get a little closer here. I want to make sure I have that gap in there for you guys. All right. So bulk side. Okay. Remember 207.50 in this demand. So I want to see if buyers can defend. You also got what here? Month to date anchored VWAP right there, 207.62. Let's see if we get a pullback there. Okay. Let's find out. Now remember, the gap overhead is all this. Okay. All that. We also have this big demand zone here with the most traded price in the 24-hour session of the month, 206.50. Okay, so what am I looking for? All right, any kind of movement up to the supply, come back in here. I want to see, what do we do? If the market is kind of strong, Can we work ourselves up to fill the gap at 209.50? Possible. All right, what if we pull back a little more, take out this overnight low, and come into this demand? Well, this is the last line of defense. Can we bounce and hold this? And then maybe we don't go as high. Maybe we just kind of go here, right? Because remember, we have big earnings and nobody knows. They could beat earnings and still be disappointed. Maybe they don't beat as much as we think, right? Who knows? But that's the bull. Bear, let's get into it. Very similar to ES. Supply zone here. Sellers want to step up there. Sellers want to break this overnight low, and the sellers want to break this demand in the most traded price of the week and the 24-hour month. So what can I see happening? Push up to the supply. Overnight low breached. Get lower high, lower high. Now, if you come through this most traded price, 207.97, you're going to correct, probably test the overnight low. If you break that, yeah, you're going to test this demand. Okay. Now remember, this is a bear case. If we get in here, I expect some pops, expect some support, and then if we boop hit those singles, yes, we can go all the way down and test yesterday's lows. Okay, that's 205.08. Do I think that happens? I don't know, but that's the bear case. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at. All right, remember, longs right now to me are easier. They just are. So we're in a bull market. Okay, you want to go upstream, not downstream. Okay, that's it, folks. That is the plans for today. Okay, that's the plans. All right, hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash that like button if you did. Smash it up, smash it. All right. Now, hopefully you enjoyed my content. And join me every day at 8, 10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of water. Have your boy tell you what's going on in the market. The story of the market. All right. That's what I do every day. Do the recap. Right. We go over everything. The news, everything. One-stop shop here. One-stop shop. All right. Go over the scenarios, right? And like I said, I already dropped the video from yesterday's trade, the big trade. Give you everything in that little snippet of 1 minute, and hopefully all the criteria make sense to you. And if it doesn't, leave me a comment, leave me a question, and I will get back to you. Okay? And you can also find that on X at Gonzo719. All right? Check out my YouTube shorts. You can find it there. Also, go to my TikTok, Gonzo719 Trader. Check it out. Leave a comment. Ask me a question. Does it make sense? Okay? Now, everybody, stay patient today. NVDA earnings after the close. Who knows what's going to happen with this market during this day? I don't know. I don't have a clue. But that's why we play the game. All right? Now, stay green. No trade is a trade. And hopefully everybody capitalizes on their edge in the market, right? I want the market to tap me on the shoulder and go, hey, put risk on here. You know what usually happens here. It's no guarantee, but you got to go with probabilities. All right? Everybody have a great day, and I'll check you guys tomorrow.